Welcome to ADTV, and today you catch up with us at Barford Pleasure Lake on what only can be described as a bitterly cold winter's day. But it's conditions like this and temperatures like this that makes one bait come into its own, and that is the humble bread. Extremely simple, incredibly cheap, but super effective. Now there's obviously a multitude of ways in which you can fish bread, but over the last few years the most popular and probably the most effective way is fishing popped up bread, whereas you're popping up 3 or 4 discs of bread just off the bottom of the lead at your desired depths at which you choose throughout the day. Now I think this becomes particularly effective this time of year because as the air temperature cools, it obviously cools the water temperature as well. But what happens is there's always like a thermal layer somewhere in the water column. Now unfortunately there's no hard and fast rule on where that warmer layer is going to be, but what you'll find is the majority of the fish will shoal up and they'll sit in that warmer layer of water. So unfortunately that is over to you to find out where that is, but that is trial and error. And what you need to do is you need to cast your bait around different depths, different areas of the lake, the different areas you swim. Once you get it, it really can be good. And I think why it becomes so effective is because the bread swells in the water and it becomes really soft and it's almost so irresistible. Put in front of their faces in the right area, they just come along, they nail it and you're in. Now if I was going to give you a rough guide for how long to leave it out there, because obviously like I said you need to search as much as you can until you find them, I'd probably do it in 10 or 15 minute intervals before I was reeling in, either changing where I was casting or the depth that I was fishing at. Now rig wise is incredibly simple. I'm just fishing a lead clip with a lead on, and then on there I'm attaching my desired hook length, and that is, like I said, up to you how deep or how high you wish to pop your bread up. So for me personally, anywhere between 1 foot and 3 foot as a standard tends to be very good wherever you go. So there's a good starting point for you. But then I'm attaching my hook link onto there, which is just a quick stop, and we attach 3 or 4 discs of bread that we're punching out onto a quick stop needle, and that's exactly what we're trying to present in front of them. Now as a final tip, what I like to do on those really hard days is I like to jazz the hook bait up a little bit with some flavours or some different smells, and for me the Hinder's Tutti Frutti Beetlin is an absolute winner in the colder months. It's incredibly sweet and they just seem to home in on it, and it just makes those extra hard days that little bit easier for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack on now, hopefully with a slice of luck, no pun intended. We're going to be able to get a fish on the bank and we'll prove to you exactly how effective this method is. And there we have it, an absolute beast of a winter carp, typical of Barford Pleasure Lake. But more importantly, we put everything that we mentioned into practice. We've changed the depths a couple of times, we've chucked it around the peg. This one came popped up about 1 foot, and obviously on that bread we had the all important jazzing up the hook bait with the Tutti spray. And if you haven't been out there and give popped up bread a go, in this colder months it's the perfect time to get on the bank, and you too could be catching a few like this.